In the tangled weave of Troika, all tales twist and turn. Wizards weave their wild whims while parchment witches burn. Streets of serpentine incline, seeing secrets softly sly, while sphinxes utter riddles where the answers are implied. Mystic markets murmur to the merchant's magic game. Colours clash and creatures call throughout the twisted lanes. Palaces of paradox and cryptic castles rise above the sinking, sullen slums where crime and guile thrive. A tremendous, teeming theatre of thrones and twisted time, where endeavours echo and linger, all etched upon a rhyme. Welcome to Tales from the Humpback Sky. I am Tom, your game master. I am joined by Stephen.
What up? Hey, I'm Stephen. How you going? That was terrible. Oh my goodness.
What up? No, we keep that.
What up?
You committed to it. You said what up. That's who you are now. You're a what up person.
And Paul.
What up?
You stole my move.
Oh man, I'm a what up dude. What up? I'm Paul. Oh yeah. What up?
So, what game are we playing? We're playing a fantastic RPG called Troika. It is a tabletop role-playing game that combines the whimsical, the bizarre, and the fantastical in a universe brimming with unique adventures and eccentricities. It is known for a very simple and flexible rule set. It is based on the fighting fantasy series Troika, and it is distinctive for its emphasis on creativity and the absurd. At its core, Troika uses a dice-based mechanic that is easy to learn, and it's very accessible for newcomers, while still offering depth for seasoned gamers. Players, that's you, Stephen and Paul, may choose from a plethora of unusual character backgrounds that set the stage for in-game identities, ranging from knights who can only speak the truth to time-traveling agents and sentient fungi. The setting of Troika is not pinned to a single coherent world, but rather spans a variety of bizarre, dreamlike realms. Each game session can shift from science fiction themes to high fantasy settings, incorporating elements of surrealism that keeps players constantly on their toes. The narrative style is open-ended, encouraging both players and game masters to contribute creatively to the unfolding story, which can be whimsically chaotic and unpredictably fun. And that is Troika.
Yeah.
Let's
That
play
sounds
some
good to
Troika.
Now, we've all played already. We did a little test play, and so we're all fairly familiar to an extent.
I mean, no,
of
that
how
might be
the game
pushing the
works.
boat. That was my first time ever playing. I've never played this other than that one time we did it a week ago. So I'm going to have questions.
I think you did an excellent job, apart from the event that took place upon the stairs. But
It was rather embarrassing for everyone involved.
it was
Yeah, well,
incredibly
we'll never speak of it
embarrassing.
again. We'll never speak of it. You'll never know.
So Tom, tell us about the setting for our campaign today.
Instead of telling you, let's just jump right into the game, and we'll see where it takes us.
Dude, fill my mind with images from your liquid words, Tom. Pour them straight in my ear hole.
An entire collusion of mathematists and experts in pan-dimensional mobility have yet to agree exactly on how many convergent realities twist and turn through the tangled, non-Euclidean, labyrinthine neighborhoods that make up the grand interdimensional city of Troika. But what they can agree on is that infinite is either a gross overstatement for the conservative or a laughable understatement for the mad. Nevertheless, the city offers a plethora of baffling predilections, both benign, malignant, or currently indeterminate. And in this strange, unusual surreal place, we find our characters within its teeming streets, within an assortment of colourful individuals of many limbs, faces, eyes, ears, noses, and other unseen appendages, walking through these twisted avenues and strange streets, illuminated by shifting lights and dancing orbs of translucent hue. What do we see, Stephen? Who do we see? What do we feel?
You see a trench coat standing on the side of the road leaning against a wall. The figure underneath the trench coat is difficult to make out. He has a dark hat on. He makes you feel uneasy. You feel watched. I'm going to be playing Ridge Mackelbie, who is his background is a demon stalker. And I think it's absolutely worth reading the description here. So a demon stalker, you stake your reputation upon your ability to hunt and kill demonic creatures and those who break bread with them. Goat men in the wilds or the angel cults of the slums all need to be driven back off the edge of the map and onto the shores of chaos. And Ridge, I kind of think of him a bit like a kind of PI, private investigator. That's my sort of take on this demon hunter in a sort of urban, multiversal city. He wields a sword and a bow, and he also has a little bit of magic to help him, in particular with demons. He's not very specialized at anything else apart from dealing with demons. And that is private investigator Ridge Mackelbie.
Excellent. I love the
All
name.
right. It's a great name. It really resonates. I love it. Panning away from this slightly ominous and sinister silhouette, we move through the streets made up of the various denizens.
Denizens? Is that what you're trying to say?
Denizens is what I'm
Denizens.
trying to say. Various people that make up this strange place. And
Denizens, the Minizens.
Denizens, the Minizens, yeah.
Yeah.
My favorite movie, yeah.
Mr. Wilson.
That scene with the beans was so creepy, like in the film, in the 90s film. There's a scene where he's with the homeless, the unhoused individual who's like eating the beans. And I just remember having such a visceral reaction as he's like eating the beans out of the can. A similar reaction I had was with, there was an episode of Mr. Bean where he eats bad oysters and he has a nightmare.
Oh. Yeah, 100%.
And he's having that horrible fever dream where he's being tortured by these people within the hotel, all like gulping down like these slimy oysters. And it's just nightmare fuel. And I remember as a child that I would just fast forward through that bit because it just seemed so out of place and so creepy and dark.
It was like very un-Mr. Beanie to have like such a surreal dream sequence where it was really gross.
It was so gross and horrific. But anyway, moving back from this digression, within these teams of peoples of various shape and color, who do we find, Paul?
All right. So the denizens are shuffling out of the path of a 6.5 foot tall muscled figure who's dragging a 8 foot maul behind him. Its head, this big weapon, this big war hammer, has a head of like sculpted boulder attached to what must have been a tree trunk, and he's dragging it behind him as he walks through the streets. He is wearing just this hodgepodge armor. All of it looks like it might have been off other people that he's sort of scavenged as he's gone along and sort of collectively like sewn on to his armor to sort of make a full set out of different pieces, a mosaic of past Malays, perhaps. His name is Owen Sunderland, and he is, his background is a chaos champion, which is someone. I don't have the... Stephen, do you want to read out what a Chaos Champion is?
Chaos Champion. You no longer don the spiked brass armor, but you still have the air of your Chaos patron. They're happy for you to experiment with not plunging your world into disorder and ultimately darkness, but the door is always open.
Yeah. So in Owen's case, he doesn't have like a dark chaos deity so much. What he has is
An
a
ex-girlfriend.
sentient tapeworm that lives inside him. And that worm is, in fact, his chaos deity. And see, he comes from a realm which is full of battle and waging war is their way of life. That's their culture. Only the strongest survive. We fight and we grow stronger, and that's who we are. But when he was born, he was just little. He was wee. He was the runt of the litter. And so his parents threw him into a long drop toilet to kill him and leave him and move on with their life. But he was determined to live, Owen was. So he crawled his way up out of the long drop. And as he was doing that, he accidentally may have ingested some feces. And inside that feces was a worm. And that worm lived inside his gut. And we don't really know where this worm came from. But the worm could think and soon realized that he was inside a small boy. This boy was yearning for battle. And so the worm hatched a cunning plan to make this boy the strongest champion in the world. And so as the boy left the toilet and became a warrior in his own right, an orphan on the streets, fighting his way through, every drop of blood that his punches splattered onto his fists was absorbed into his body and taken in by this worm in his stomach. And the worm grew. And as the worm grew, the boy grew. And the worm could now speak to the boy's mind. And so the worm has his own ideas and his own feelings and his own wants and his own needs. But yeah, so that's just my first initial thoughts on who Owen is. And his yes. So he has this parasite living within him who acts as his deity, basically.
Are you going to play Bernard and Owen?
I thought about it, but I think it would be better having conversations if Tom plays Bernard.
How do you feel about that, Tom?
Oh, I'm always up for playing a sentient chaos worm that dwells within the gut of a young boy.
Yes, well, he's not a young boy anymore. He's 6 foot something tall, very muscled, covered in armor, carrying his gigantic hammer. He's an older dude now. He's seen some battles. He had to train on the main streets.
How old?
He's so old. He's I don't know, 20.
That's old.
He's 20 years young.
That's pretty old for a young boy that got thrown in a long drop. That's pretty old.
Right? He survived to 20, and that's not easy. It was a hard road, and he killed a lot of people.
I have one more question, which will help, I think, with the game. Bernard, is he public knowledge, or is he like a hidden thing that Owen does not reveal?
He, as part of the class of Chaos Champion, one of my skills is that I can call upon my deity once a day. I feel like were I to do that, he would somehow come out of me for that. But most of the time, he is inside.
Ooh, with that, he'll come out of me from somewhere. There are certain specific places that I can think of.
Where worms come out of.
Where tapeworms come out of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that. Didn't think that one through, did I?
It could easily be you just open up your mouth and there's a little worm kind of coming up through the esophagus.
Like it's the reverse Leto Atreides 2 from the later Dune books.
Yeah.
Have you read that? Yeah.
Yes, I've seen the cover art. But maybe he just comes out of my nose and just dangles out of one nostril and just hangs out there.
Oh, that made me feel sick for a second. I almost vomited. Whew.
He's got a little face and he's like, hello, or however he talks.
Ooh,
yeah.
Like that. Well, what is a large, colorful market square that is filled with noise and smell and sensation? There is an eruption of chaos. You can see various merchants, peddlers, customers, hawkers, all beginning to scatter and this teeming wave of chaotic fear begins to override any kind of sensibility within the folks in this particular market square. You see, moving through these terrified throngs, several large red armored hands. There are no arms or bodies attached to these hands. These are solitary, armored, red-hued hands that, like spiders, are moving through this chaotic scene. And running from them is a young man. He has got strawberry blonde hair that kind of gently cascades down to his neck. He is slightly bespeckled, although they are now janky and askew. You can see that he is holding in his hand what looks to be a silver handheld mirror. He is currently holding up his long robes so that he can properly sprint from these creatures. However, he does not get very far as one of these creatures ambles up over one of the buildings, down and in front of him, and with a flick kicks out his left foot, causing this young man to, boom, smack his face onto the pavement. His face now a bloodied mess. Another hand climbs up and pinches the back of his garments, lifts him up, and shakes him vigorously. You can see now that this young man is unconscious. Blood is just kind of streaming down his nose. And with that, one of the hands turns upwards and rests on where the wrist would be. You can see strapped around it is what looks like a vox box, a type of speaker that is placed within the hand. And it says, kind of this with this crackling distortion. Never fear, the Crimson Grabbers have found their man. Go about your day peacefully. And it turns back onto its fingers, and you see as this young man, unconscious and bleeding out, is removed from the space. Surrounding the now nearly empty market, you can see the ruinous flotsam and jetsam that has been caused by this sudden attack upon the chaotic but peaceful moment of a day within this strange city. And within this wreck and ruin, you can see these hands, these Crimson Grabbers, have left behind what appears to be the mirror that was in the young man's hand. And also, you notice a pair of spectacles that were once his, also lying near the mirror. You can see on the periphery the various merchants, people's customers are slowly trickling back, their confidence building, murmuring, talking as they begin to whisper and talk amongst themselves about what has just transpired. As they do so, a shadow moves over, and you can see a helicopter-like device flying above the scene, and dangling from it on like what looks like little hooks attached to their armor are the hanging red hands just swinging from this helicopter device as it makes its way over the market and out of sight and sound.
A man steps forward from the shadows. Dark black coat, huge wide-brimmed hat covering his entire face, and steps into the... Was it like a square, like a town square kind of? Like, how would you describe the place?
It's like a market square, and there are thousands of these kind of squares. This one is a lot more mundane than many others you would find. It is simple stone, it is masonry, it is wood. Here you will find many interesting baubles, but nothing really out of the ordinary or particularly strange. The merchants here focus more on perhaps selling small items of craftsmanship, clothing, various threads, yarns, silks, various other mundane assortments that you would find. Such a calamitous event should really not be happening in this area of the city. This part of the city is normal, mundane, peaceful. But of course, to Ridge, what is normal, peaceful, and mundane can often hide a rather seamy underbelly.
As Ridge walks towards where the mirror and the glasses have been dropped and this sort of attack happened, he lifts his hand to the side and his silver sword flies out. And so he's like kind of holding it beside him. And he wants to approach where the attack happened and place the silver sword in the blood, because he knows that demon blood reacts to silver.
Ooh. Yeah, the sword tip touches the small driblets of blood that are on the stone. There is no vibration, giving you a sense that this is mortal blood.
He puts his sword away and inspects the mirror without touching it yet.
I'll get you... Now, do you have as a skill awareness?
No. I've got second sight, but that's different, isn't it? That's for checking for magic, right?
That is checking for magic. I'll get you to make a general awareness. So what I want you to do is roll 2d6 and roll under your skill.
Which is 5. That's a 7, so I rolled over.
Okay. You don't notice anything other than the broken mirror. You see fragments of its reflective glass has kind of shattered around it. And then you see a pair of spectacles that are also in a similar state of disrepair. The lenses have also cracked and broken.
Have these red hands, what were they called again?
Crimson Grabbers.
Crimson Grabbers.
Are the Crimson Grabbers a known entity? Are they like the police force? Or are they a thing that I'm like, who the heck are these guys?
Yes, the Crimson Grabbers, they would be more akin to a mercenary company who would be hired to retrieve either persons or objects. They can be hired to keep the peace by various barons or dukes or other noble types that run various spaces within this place and also beyond the bounds of this liminal dimension. But they are not officially sanctioned by any great authority.
Ridge is going to pick up both items. With this, the thought in his head is that he may get a reward for returning these to wherever these belong.
Picking them up, they are very beautifully crafted. The silver mirror has this gorgeously sloped and slender silver handle. At the bottom of it, it ends in what looks to be a very handsome face. There are little vestiges of reflective glass within the mirror itself, but the majority of the glass is completely shattered and broken. You do see, now that you're picking it up and holding it closer, you can see that etched around the silver rim of this mirror, there are mystic runes. It's rather obvious. They're not hidden in any way, but you do pick them up once you bring it closer. The glasses, you also notice, have similar runes inscribed on their thick rims, and the glass within the glasses, the remnant glass that is broken and shattered, is also reflective.
Like a mirrored lens.
Like a mirrored lens. How are you holding the mirror currently?
By the handle. And are the runes, perchance, abyssal?
Ooh, great. No, the runes are not abyssal. I think for you, a second sight would probably be pertinent.
Let's do a second sight. Okay. Well,
Can you describe for me what second sight is, just for our listeners?
Second sight is your essentially ability to detect magic. On a success, you focus your inner eye and all your sorcery activity glows faintly for a moment. So I think for Ridge, it's his eyes. I think his eyes glow. And so underneath the big brim of his hat, you finally see this illumination. If he detects magic.
So roll under your skill, please.
That is a 7, which is the same as my skill.
So what's your base skill?
My base skill is 5, and I have 2 ranks in second side, which makes 7, yeah.
Believe matching is allowed, and because I'm the game master, I allow it. So one of the things in Troika that is mentioned, although I do not have it verbatim, is that I'm given full permission to do whatever the hell I want in this game, which is incredible. So I decide, I think a 7 is fine. You do feel a slight weariness, and there is a slight blurring to the sigils for a moment, and you get a sense that the magic is starting to bleed out and will dissipate very shortly, but you're seeing this vestiges of magic, and it's like this red miasma that is forming, and you can see above the runes are the magical remnants of the rune aura moving around. And discerning these runes, you can see a name that is connected and swirling through these runes. And the name is of one Professor Esker Howl.
Very interesting. Okay.
But like a mist hit by the rays of dawn, it soon scatters and the magic dissipates. And it is now functionally a mundane, broken mirror. The glasses, however, also give off a faint glow as the magic also begins to fade. You see the similar name of Professor Esther Howl also breathed and intertwined within the mystic aura. With your understanding of magic, you understand that not all items will carry the name of the caster or the person that placed the spell, but items that are personally attached to someone or a spell that's specifically focused on an individual will be intertwined within those runes.
Okay. Kind of like soul-bound items or something.
Yes, you get a sense that these were connected with an individual very closely.
Is it Esther or Esker?
Esker.
Is Esker Howl a known personality in the city?
Ooh, that is a great question. If we're playing D&D, I'd say make a history check. I don't see an equivalent, but I do see other. So if a skill isn't listed here, then make it up. Anything can be a skill, from jousting to gambling to eating. Skills are primarily used as flavor, and the occasional fun instance where your incredibly specific and heretofore useless ability helps you and your friends is priceless. All right, so let's make a little history roll. One more very important thing, and I don't remember, it wasn't really pertinent in our little test play, but if you use a skill successfully, I want you to put a tick beside that skill, because that will come into play when you do a little level up.
Right.
Good. So second sight, I've got a tick next to it. Fantastic.
You used it well. So now I want you to roll under your base skill for a little history.
Nope, it's a 7. It's over.
All right. Okay. It is not a person who is familiar with you. I mean, there are many people that you are familiar with, but this is a huge, unusual place with teeming millions of individuals. This is not one that you have heard of. It might need further investigation.
I think his immediate instinct is to find, I imagine there's a place in the city that keeps records.
Oh yeah, there is absolutely there are absolutely many places of such kind. The closest one that you would be aware of is the Hall of the Infinite Ledger. Owen feels that twisting in his gut, that very familiar sensation that Bernard is communicating with him, and he communicates through these twists that kind of create this resonant voice that moves through his mind. And Bernard says, that one there is wreathed in chaos. Chaos is his path. Follow that one, Owen. Follow him. Listen to what he has to say.
Okay.
Follow.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That's okay. Hello? Hi. Hello?
Hello there. How can I be of assistance?
What's going on? friend.
I do not know what's going on. The mercenary group, the Crimson Hand, have come by and taken this guy away. I would like to return these items to the owner in the hopes of a reward.
Cool. Okay. Well, yeah, let's do that. Do you want some help? I'm really strong. I'm the strongest guy you've ever seen, I bet. What do you want me to lift? I can lift up... here's a list of things that I've lifted up, okay? I've lifted up a boulder. It was pretty big. I've lifted up a wagon. That was pretty big. I lifted up a half cow, half hippopotamus, which I didn't know what that was, but I could lift that up. I've lifted up I could lift you up. Can I lift you up?
I would prefer that you did not do that. In fact, can I ask you a few questions before we continue this conversation?
Yeah, you can ask me anything about the things I've lifted up. Sure.
I was going to ask you about your heritage. Are you a demon, or have you had any association with demons in the last 24 hours?
One moment. Bernard, I don't know.
The squirming intensifies. This is a delicate situation. It is best to answer.
Bernard, he didn't seem impressed with what I can lift up.
Yes. Oh, look, perhaps
You saw me lift up the fucking wagon.
Yes, yes.
Even bat an eye.
Look, here's the thing, Owen. Here's the thing. Whatever he is, obviously he's very interested in demons and demon type things. So feeling his vibe that's coming through, it's more like demons are probably not good vibe. Now, would I classify myself?
You're my best friend.
I transcend all meaning.
You're my brother.
Well, I am very close. So I think what you should say is no. Go with that.
Right. Wink,
Am
wink.
I seeing this conversation? Am I seeing you have a conversation to yourself, like muttering under your breath?
I think you might pick up. Actually, you know what? Make another awareness, so roll under your skill.
Yep. Not even close. Way over 9.
Okay. You do hear a slight gurgling within the gut of this individual who's standing before you, and an intensity on his face for a moment, but nothing else.
Okay, I think for Ridge, every person he meets is a 50-50 chance they're a demon to him. And Owen has gone up to 60% now.
Okay.
Ridge is
But
60% sure that he's a demon.
But I'm smiling now, and I look at you and I go, no.
I think that we should stay close to each other. Would you like to come with me to the Hall of the Infinite Ledger?
Absolutely, man. Let's do it.
When we enter the hall, it will be best if you put that massive weapon away. Otherwise, you will be attacked by the guards. They do not allow weapons in such a place. Unless they are concealed.
How strong are they, do you think?
They are the strongest fighters I've ever seen. Their brutality is unmatched.
Okay, all right, yeah, all right. You just lead the way, because I'm going to come with you. That's what I'm going to do. Yeah.
I think we should stay close to each other.
Let's go.
Look, fortunately, the Hall of the Infinite Ledger is within this particular neighborhood, within this particular district. So it does not take you very long as you make your way through the streets and avenues, and nestled in the crooked shadow of the Tower of Unending Tales. The Hall of the Infinite Ledger serves as a repository for records that stretch beyond the mundane. Its facade is a bizarre blend of Baroque architect. Baroque or Baroque? Barocca? Barocca?
Baroque.
It's Baroque, yeah. It's a bizarre blend of Baroque architecture and shifting geometric patterns that seem to dance in the corner of one's eye. You can see a large doorway that resembles an open book. The pages are of intricately carved stone, and within the middle seam of this book, there is a doorway. At the front of this doorway, guarding it, are two incredibly thick-necked, muscle-bound, barbarian-like, ogre-ish individuals. They have big, like, furry loincloths with thick brass belts. They have bulging bronzed pecs and muscles. On their heads, there are fur-trimmed brass helms with little black horns. And in their hands, they are holding each are these massive mauls, similar to Owen's, but the mauls are, instead of like a stone head or a metallic head, they are books that have been cast or covered in some kind of dark red resin.
Mm.
I think that Ridge comes to this place a lot because he's often hunting people down. And I have a feeling he knows these guards.
Okay. So what we'll do is, Ridge, I will say, yeah, you come up to the guards. What would you say if you know these guards? What are their names?
Chud and Mandy.
Chud
and Mandy.
All right. You walk up the steps, and as you do, you can see the steps are all inscribed with various quotations and sentences and pieces of poetry and verse and scripture, all kind of carved on these steps. And as you walk up, you see Chud looks in your direction, prods Mandy's muscular arm, and Mandy looks towards you and says, "Hey, well, if it isn't Ridge." What's the story, Ridge?
I have seen the most unusual thing, and I'm looking for someone, and I'd like to peruse the records, if that's okay with you.
Fair enough. All are free to peruse the records, isn't that right, Chud? That's right, Mandy. Who's your friend?
This is my new acquaintance. What is your name, sir?
It's Owen. My name is Owen. You guys look really strong. What's the biggest thing you've ever picked up?
Oh, that's a great question, says Chud. The biggest thing that I personally have picked up is several bound books that were contained within a sarcophagus of cement.
I bet I could pick that up.
Ooh, you see Chud's like little tiny little eyes kind of squint at you and stare you down. And he goes, "Could you now?"
Oh, yeah.
He looks
yeah.
at your maul. Oh, you look
I start
pretty
flexing.
strong. Ooh.
I start flexing. I do all the moves. I do
Wow.
like the walk like an Egyptian arms. I do the one where you kind of like put both you link your fingers together and you like push down like that, and you push down and you do like pecs. I go boom boom with my pecs at them.
Ooh.
Then I turn around and I do butt flexes.
Okay.
And I say,
Picking stuff up's all in the butt. All in the butt. All in the butt.
What skills do you have that might aid you in this performance?
none.
All right. So we'll add flexing as a skill. We'll add muscular flexing as a skill. So can you roll under your base skill, please?
It's well over.
Okay. You feel like you did a
Not
great
doing
job.
very well.
You feel like you did a great job.
I know I did a great job.
But it's obviously subjective. They don't look particularly impressed. You see as Mandy kind of smirks with a slightly condescending little grin. Chud says, "Very nice. Oh, now with that weapon of yours, Ridge, if you would like to put the sword in the repository, and
Absolutely.
Friendo, if you would like to do the same." Mandy then pipes up, puts her hand up. "Oh, unless, of course, it is a religious artifact, then we must allow you entry with it. We do not discriminate against any religions, maleficent or benign. Is it a religious item?"
It actually so happens to be. I am of the Kurgan faith from my home realm of Kurgan Sturgan, and we must have with us we have not only the right to bear arms, but we have the need to bear arms or have bear arms. And if we don't have bear arms, like the arms of bears, we have to have a weapon with us. And if I were to somehow die inside this house of many pages and books, and I did not have with me my maul, I would not go on to the afterlife where many battles take place. It would be so sad.
Chud and Mandy just like nod. You see what looks to be a slight tear running down the side of
You get
Mandy's
it.
eye.
You lift things. You lift my heart this day.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the Hall of the Infinite Ledger. Please mind the gap as you make your way through the door, and no open flames. You see as Chad goes, yes, there's an interdimensional rift. Don't step into it, step over it.
Okay. Lead the way, friend.
So Ridge has handed over his silver sword and his bow and his knife. He is now unarmed.
Okay.
He doesn't like the feeling, but this is the proper respect.
I like also that you're very honest. You're like, these are not religious. These are for my work. You hand them over to Chud. Chud very delicately takes them in his massive, meaty, muscular hands, and he places them in this large, almost, it looks like a big post box slot. He opens it up. You can see like a velvet cushioning inside. He places the items within, closes it. You hear a slight clicking noise, and then he nods and he gestures towards the doorway.
Ridge makes his way inside, making sure to jump over the rift.
Yes. At the doorway itself, on the precipice, you notice that there is a slight gap. In it, there is a very violent orange light that wavers and undulates. And there are kind of these strange whispers that you can hear, almost compelling you to jump inside. But you don't. You skip over it, and you are now inside the Hall of the Infinite Ledger. Upon entering it, visitors are greeted by the smell of ancient parchment and the soft, continuous scratching of quill on paper. The hall is vast, with towering shelves that disappear into a misty ceiling. Ethereal lanterns glow gently, casting a soft glow over rows of boundless books and scrolls, each recording the deeds and misdeeds of countless souls across many realms. A scribe, an attendant, sloshes towards you. You see, you of course are used to this, Ridge, but Owen, you see a humanoid.
Owen's never been anywhere like this before. He's very uncomfortable. He doesn't get the point of any of this. This is well outside his experience.
You, in fact, it's less of a sloshing. You hear a sloshing and like a squeaking of wheels. And you see what looks to be a small, squat, goblinoid creature. It is pulling a handle connected to a little brass wagon. And on that brass wagon is a sloshing, ink-like humanoid that is standing within the basin. It is jet black, but there's a very human face that is created within this kind of sloshing humanoid countenance. And this is an ink-soaked scribe.
Right. I say to Ridge, I go, here you go. There's one. There's a demon. There you go. You're looking for him?
Oh, no.
He's one.
That is not a demon. You must be respectful.
Clearly is.
Oh, no. I have tested this creature. It is not a demon. It can help us. Please be respectful.
Okay.
Welcome, guests, to the Hall of the Infinite Ledger. How may I be of assistance to you today?
Ridge bows just a little bit. My good sir, I was wondering if you could help me track down a Professor Esker Howell.
The ink-soaked scribe listens to you, nods, and it turns to the creature and it says, "Release the sluice." The creature nods, and a little lever connected to the wagon is pulled, and then the scribe slips out of the wagon and into what you can see as a little grating that then runs beneath the entirety of the hall. And you just hear this sloshing. You see
Owen
this little
stumbles backwards in fright into a pile of books that go flying. And like the books go flying into the air as Owen stumbles backwards onto his muscular butt. And a flock of bats swoop down from the ceiling and gather the books and pile them back up.
Yeah. Very incredulous. One of the bats kind of screeches at you, but it takes about 2 or so minutes, and then you hear the sloshing return, and then rising up from out of the wagon, the ink-soaked scribe reappears. The little goblin gremlin creature then resets the lever. The scribe looks at you, Ridge, and says, I have the information. Do you have payment? 2 silver pence, please.
Ridge just considers for a moment whether the reward for these broken items is going to be worth the 2 silver pieces it's going to cost for the information.
I got you, mate. I've got you. You need money, bro? I've got money. I don't really use it for anything. You can have it. Do you want it? You can have it. I'll give it to you. Do you want it?
If you were willing to pay the scribe, I would be more than willing to let you do that.
Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, I'll flip them 2 coins. Take it.
Yeah, Owen, you feel that twisting in your gut. It's a more pleasant sensation, and Bernard goes, yeah, good. This is good. Dear him to you. Good.
Oh, yeah. Didn't think of that. Yeah, good one. Yeah, good one, me. Yeah, all right. Yeah.
So I hand the coins over and then I nudge Ridge a little bit more strongly than I mean to with my elbow, like,
We're mates, mate.
Very well.
Yeah, it's a bit of a painful nudge, but you have the coins in your hand.
Yeah, I think he sort of throws it like a dart into the body of the inky scribe.
All right, yeah, it into the guts, and you see it. You see it as it hits. It doesn't go in like the fluid seems to be incredibly viscous. Yeah, very viscous. So the coins kind of stop halfway and then slide into the kind of inky form. There's a moment, and the scribe says, "Thank you, Professor Esker Howell, formerly of the University of Parallel Studies, is located in the district of Titan's Chain. His current address is 703314 Left Toe Avenue."
Ridge gently bows. Thank you, good sir. You have been most kind this day.
The scribe bows in return. Is there anything else that I can help you with?
Not today. I'm sure I will see you again soon.
How much do you reckon I can lift?
The scribe says, do you have documentation on the various things that you have lifted?
Only these 2 things right here.
I start flexing my arms.
We could sever the arms and put them into our archives. Is that something you wish to have done?
No.
It's kind of looking at your very much currently attached arms with a vague inky interest.
Oh. I back away slowly and knock over the books again.
The bookbinder bats return, and at this point, one kind of rests on your shoulder and looks at you with a clear bat frustration, and it's just like. At which point it turns to the scribe and squeaks it to the scribe, and the scribe says, "Oh yes, please refrain from knocking over any more stacks, or we will be forced to fine you."
As Owen is lying on the ground after having sort of tumbled back, Ridge comes forward to give him a hand to hold him up, and he holds his hand out. Let me help you up.
Mate, that's okay. You're a little, I mean, I don't want to be offensive here, mate, but you're a really kind dude, but I'm big and strong, and I don't need help to do physical things. And I just jump up.
Ridge just leans in close and not breaking eye contact says, and he's just looking for a reaction. He's speaking abyssal and he's looking for a reaction.
The reaction is Owen smiles politely.
Ridge nods.
Yeah, I think you see a very honest look of kind of like, like polite.
Nice.
Ah, nice.
Okay. Ooh.
Okay. Let's head to Titan's Chain.
Yeah. I want to get out of this place of books, please.
My book cabbages. All right, you leave the confines of the hall, and you make your way through the streets towards another district. Now, it will take you some time to walk to Titan's Chain, and you are welcome to do so. But for a small price, there are many ways to travel through this strange city. So, would you like to hear what is on offer?
Give us the menu. Yeah.
Great. Give me a second while I bring up my notes.
I'm already down to only 4 silver coins now.
Thank you for paying for that. That was handy.
Oh, no worries, man.
So, there are fairly mundane forms of travel, various taxis, wagons, beasts of burden, which you can hire for various amounts of coinage. There are also sky gondolas, which are these floating, slender, silvered, gondola-like vehicles that are powered by enchanted crystals, which refract and reflect solar energy. There are also various mystic portals that can be summoned by various mobility wizards who wear very elaborate cloaks of high-vis vestments. Also, find various stretches of automated paving stones, which will move with under your feet and add quite a bit of speed. And walking towers, which are quite expensive for much longer trips, and they are almost like a walking hotel, like a little apartment within these massive tower-like appendages that walk over the city streets. However, if you do not wish to pay any coinage, there is also the cult of the traveling worm. Now, the cult of the traveling worm has, in the distant past, been bequeathed with the essence of an elder god. And for eons, they have been trying to incubate the progeny of this elder god in order to continue the creature's blessings throughout the multiverse. Now, for the price of a surgically implanted womb and a impregnation, you can travel for free within their womb tubes.
Now, Owen is no stranger to having worms inside of him. It's quite full. There's no room at the inn. I don't know if he'll be up for this.
Yeah, so you've come to like a hub, like you are at like a transportation hub, like a bus stop of sorts, and you can see the various options that are available to you. You see one of these massive walking towers receive several guests who make their way into the doors, and then the towers just walk over to the distant horizon. You see several tamed ox-like creatures with 16 legs bend down as several very haughty, noble-looking individuals climb into a pelican that's attached. Palanquin? The little, what do they call the little houses? Palanquin? Palanquin? Palanquin. Yeah. That is, yeah. And a palanquin. You see this, multiple choices are arrayed in front of you.
Ridge likes the idea of the transportation wizards.
Excellent. So you go up to one of these mobility wizards. He's in like high vis, like neon green, which is shining in the light. And he is holding a massive staff, the massive orange circular, an orange sphere that looks like a large lollipop with various strange esoteric runes floating within it. And the wizard with a long white beard looks at you and goes, "Yes, yes, come, welcome. Do you wish to travel the interdimensional pathways to your destination?"
Yes, I would like to travel to the district of Titan's Chain.
Very easy. That is one stop over from here, which means you must pay the ultimate price, 1 silver pence, or the soul of your firstborn child.
Before he even finished speaking, Ridge is getting up 2 silver coins to pay for himself and for Owen, given that Owen paid for the information.
The wizard looks at the pence and looks. There's a slight sense of despondency and disappointment as he takes the 2 coins. You see, like a little further back, sitting on a bench, there is another wizard in like neon vestments, and he's got a little lunch satchel that he's eating from. He looks up kind of eagerly at his friend, and he kind of gives him like a thumbs up and like nodding, and his friend kind of looks at him and shakes his head, and then you see disappointment shared on his friend's face, and like just a little like, damn.
They want those babies. They just want those babies.
They want those baby souls.
Mm.
He pockets the coins, at which point he takes his massive orange lollipop-like staff, he taps it on the pavement, and an orange swirling vortex appears. There you go, hop in.
Okay.
Thank you, good sir. Before we hop through, have you seen any demons come through today?
Oh, yes, several. It is a very common sight to see many demons and demonic families making their way through. But I'm not one to share the comings and goings of our clientele, unless you wish to give me the ultimate price.
How about I give you the soul of my firstborn child? Would you tell me the names or information about all the demons you've seen today?
There's a little bit of a hope rekindled. In fact, he says it, goes, hope rekindled. I can provide you with a list, and he's like clicking his hands to his friend, who like scoffs down a sandwich, and like brushes it off his beard, the crumbs off his beard, and he makes his way, and he goes, Reginald, do you have the list of clientele that have stepped through the portals? Reginald goes, yes. Has he paid the ultimate price? And looks at you eagerly.
Ridge parts his trench coat, and underneath, underneath he's just wearing.
Nothing at all.
Naked.
Nothing at all.
He's not naked. We were going to go there, but we're not going to go there. He's wearing just like a tight onesie with all made of a white fabric. And he says, I am willing and ready now. Do what you need to do. Or, if I need to come back later when I have a firstborn child, I'm willing to do so. It is worth the cost.
Both the mobility wizards kind of look at each other. They like look you up and down in your kind of like onesie morph suit type situation that you've got going on. And they look, yes, a fine candidate. You will make many babies. Yes, very well. Well, you just have to agree to it, and that's fine. There's no need for any other nonsense. But we can get your baby, your soul. You can keep the body.
Of course.
Fantastic. When you have the baby, just hit us up, and we'll come meet you wherever you are at. Here is my number. And he kind of scrawls a bunch of esoteric numerals onto a piece of parchment and hands them to you. Just give those to a chicken that has refused to lay eggs for a fortnight, and it will do the rest.
Sorry, what did he hand them again?
Just a note with some numerals scribbled on it.
His phone number.
Just hand it to the chicken, and it will know what it will do, and make sure it is a fortnight.
I feel good about this deal that we are making.
Oh, as do I. You seem very virile. Right, fantastic. Well, here's the ledger. His friend hands him the ledger. He hands it to you. There are several demonic families that are housed within. I'm sure that you mean all the best. I'm not going to ask questions. Love your sword.
Why, thank you. This has been a most pleasant conversation, and I'm very happy with the outcome.
Excellent. Mind the elbows and cross your arms, and it never hurts to say a quick little prayer to whatever deity that you may or may not believe in.
Rather than a prayer, Ridge turns to Owen and says, You said you like a fight. Maybe after we finish this short errand, we could go and hunt some demons together.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
You do not sound convinced.
Bernard, I'm starting to question this make best friends with the guy plan. He seems to be a bit freaky. He's wearing a white onesie and he just gave away a baby.
Yes, I still see that he is covered in chaos energy, and
Right, yeah, the chaos, yeah.
yes, it sustains. Look, it's really important that you understand that the chaos sustains and nourishes, and I really need that nourishment right now. He's mentioning that there's a lot of demon killing in the future. That could be good.
I like that plan. It's more. Yeah, no, you're right. Okay, yeah.
I mean, look, I'm with you. I'm with you about the whole onesie thing. It's not quite my bag. It was a little discolored, which I'm like, is he washing that? Is he soaking that?
They weren't even yellow. They were green.
Just a little bicarbonate of soda, and they'll get that right out. I mean, come on. And is he showing this a lot? Is that something that he does a lot?
Blood by the poop hole? Was that blood?
Look, I think just go with it. You know, you're in a new place. You're in a new world. I think do as whatever the Romans are and do them.
Okay, all right.
I turned back to Ridge. I was like, that was great, man. Oh, yeah, get rid of all those dumb babies, eh? And I just jump in the hole.
Whoosh. All right. You feel for a moment as if you are turned inside out and everything that you thought you knew is false and that reality is a lie. But those feelings soon die away and you feel perfectly fine as you are standing in the district of Titan's Chain. Titan's Chain is a rather strange and unusual place, but no more strange and unusual as any other place within this strange city. It sprawls across a Titan's massive body, which is partly embedded in the earth and stretches over several miles. The district is divided into various zones based on the different parts of the Titan's anatomy, such as the headward, the heart side, the limb loops, and the toes. The buildings within the Titan's Chain are constructed directly on the Titan's body, with structures made from a mix of stone, metal, and salvaged materials from the ancient armor and weapons once worn by this destructive force. The chains that bind the Titan are incorporated into the architecture, serving as foundations, walls, and even artistic elements in the district's design. Homes and shops are adapted to curves and contours of the Titan's form, creating a vertical landscape and a labyrinthine network of bridges, walkways, and connecting areas. Every so often, the Titan groans, "Release me!" But everyone's used to it and ignores it.
Let's ignore that. That's fine. I often summer in Scroat City. It's great.
The peoples, I'm really not wanting to say the D word, the peoples of this place and the various creatures are so used to the Titan's cries that not even a pigeon stirs when this voice bellows and echoes out into eternity.
Right. Cool.
You got the address there. Ridge, we remember where we were going?
I'm pondering something. That going through this portal has actually changed Ridge.
That's
It can
possible.
happen.
It's possible.
Ridge is a woman now.
Yep, great.
Okay, so you turn around and you see under the hat, and the hat sort of she throws the hat away, and
I'm sorry, miss.
you see
What? Oh, you're wearing my friend's clothes.
is everything okay with you? Are we going to go now to 73314 Left Toe Avenue?
Ridge?
Yes, is everything okay with you?
Oh, yeah. No, of course it is. Yeah, lead on. Yeah,
Come on then,
fine.
let's go. Let's go.
Stephen, for Ridge, this sudden gender change that has transpired within the portal, is it something that Ridge is aware of, or the memories of Ridge's gender are completely rewritten?
I'm just going to go with the fact that the way the voice came out, that it's like she has always been a she, as far as she's concerned.
Fantastic. All right. With that, you make your way towards the toes and towards your destination. The toes themselves, you can see there are various buildings that have been built and connected within the large gargantuan appendages that come out from the Titan's massive foot. There are a series of elevators connected by large chains that move up the breadth of the foot itself up to the toes, where you can see various walkways and bridges that have been created and built around the tip of the foot, around the toes themselves. And there you can see various buildings and apartments, and spires and towers that are interconnected around the toes themselves. Following the address, you make your way to a apartment building nestled in the far left toe of this particular foot. And there you come to
Little toe. And the little toe.
Little toe, little left toe. And following the numbers, you can see engraved upon a burnished brass door the numbers which you have been following. There is a large knocker that looks like a dog's head. In the dog's mouth, there is a big ring.
Ridge does a second sight, just to make sure there's no enchantment on this door.
Yes, roll under your skill.
I did. It's a 3.
Ooh, you focus, your eyes change. You can see magic aura surrounding this dog's head, and you notice that the magic aura is specifically located around its eyes.
Owen, would you
Yeah.
mind knocking on the door for me?
Anything for a mate, mate.
She steps back.
Looks like this little piggy stayed home. Knock, knock, knock.
The eyes turn in the head of the dog, and they become mirrored and reflective.
Oh, like the glasses.
For a moment, you can see yourself, and then a pair of eyes are seen within the reflection that are not your own.
Oh, hello.
There is a vibration that moves through the door. It begins to vibrate, and then the vibrations begin to kind of coalesce. Begone!
I turn to Rich and go, does that always happen? Is that how doors work here?
We don't want any.
I think Ridge kind of slides into view, and from her pack takes out the mirror and the glasses and says, in front of the eyes, says, excuse me, I've returned these to you. I found them in the square. A man had them before the Crimson Hand took him away.
The door reverberates. Holy shit sticks. And then the dog's head turns slightly, and the door opens to a very dark, dusty, kind of slightly dank and damp interior. You see a foyer. Within there is a marble floor. It is covered with pieces of shattered glass and reams of paper, leather-bound books, various strange esoteric knickknacks and trinkets. You can see there's a thick layer of dust on everything. You do notice that there are some footprints through the dust going to various areas, but you see above a hall table that is below a flight of stairs leading up to a second floor is a large mirror. And as you look, the mirror begins to wobble. And in the same kind of voice begins to vibrate as a figure begins to coalesce in the mirror. It is an elderly man. He is bespectacled. He is balding with large wisps of white hair that go down to his shoulders. He's got a very thin...
When you say bespectacled, do you mean he wears spectacles?
Yes, he's bespectacled. Bespectacled? Bespectacled?
Yes.
Bespectacled. Bespectacled.
Not befrickled. I think it's prickles for some reason.
Bespectacled. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. Yes. He is bespectacled. He's got long wisps of white hair, very straggly, kind of pathetic little white fluff on his chin, and he wears a full robe of moth-eaten tweed. His face is incredibly wrinkly, and his whole body is kind of vibrating within the confines of this mirror, and his voice kind of echoes out and resonates around the mirror's rim. And he says, "Close the door."
Okay. I do, easily.
Please walk into the parlor. I will meet you presently. Follow the footsteps.
I do.
I do so. Yes,
All
I
right.
follow you.
You follow footsteps.
Looking around for anything cool to lift, but there's nothing in here.
There's a few heavy items, but nothing that would be like impressive.
Nothing that's a challenge, you know?
Yeah. It's all pretty mundane in terms of lifting.
What you don't know about me is that I have a dream diary, and in it every night I jot down things that I have lifted and my dreams of what I would like to lift in the future. So I'm always on the lookout for things to add to this list.
Rich just dreams of the horrified faces of all the demons he or she has killed over the many, many thousands of years.
So similar, you know, similar.
Yeah, very similar.
I love in this game you can just say something and that's canon. It's
great. It's exactly what we're doing here. Yeah, that's it. You follow a series of kind of older footsteps within the dust, and you come into a large domed roof study. There is a fire pit in the center that is covered with a large glass covering. The fire is currently dead, and you just see bits of charred wood and ash. The room, like the foyer, is incredibly messy. There are shards of glass everywhere, and you also notice that there are multitudes of mirrors, many intact, many broken, many in multiple pieces, scattered around this room. Above a mantle where once there hung a portrait that now kind of lies kind of broken and smashed on the side, you see another mirror which begins to vibrate. And as you enter into this room, the figure appears within this mirror, and it says, "Welcome to my home. I am Esker Howell, Professor of Reflection and Refraction, and I am trapped within these mirrors."